Valve has dropped a new update that they claim has a little something for everyone. Pretty fucking bold to suggest given the actual contents, but hey, let's give it a look anyway. The update titled Spring Forward dropped on March 31st, the day before April Fool's, because of course they did that, and that's after a pretty long hiatus from Valve. There have been a few patches here and there, and the switch over to Premiere Season 2, but not a whole lot since Train was released back in November of last year. And with this one, I just want to come out of the gate and say that the term update is very loose here. If anything, this is just a refresh to the in-game store, aka the Armory, along with a few small adjustments to a couple maps. Now, that's not to say that the new Armory contents aren't quality. If that's what you've been waiting for, you're probably a pig in shit right now, since Valve has released over 70 new skins. And it all starts with the new and improved weekly care packages. As we all know by now, each week, if you play enough, you will receive a care package where you can choose up to 2 items to own forever. Typically, it's like 2 skins, a case, and a graffiti or charm detachment pack now. Valve has since upped the ante with 3 brand new collections, swapping out the old ones. Named Ascent, Boreal, and Radiant, we are getting some good shit here, including a purple AK and pink Deagle. My personal highlights are the Royal Guard USP and this sexy-ass green AK, which I'm already fiending for. All in all, a lot of good free shit here, but we'll just have to wait and see what the drop rates are like for some of these higher tier skins. Now, as good as these drops are, it does raise 2 concerns for me. With a lot more quality items now up for grabs, is this going to increase the amount of bot farming we see? I mean, it's already a pretty frustrating issue for DM and arms race, especially depending on where you live, but it can get a lot worse if the demand for these skins goes up. And next to that, it does feel like Valve is fully embracing the FOMO strategy of player retention. Valve is of course no stranger to drops, but with the quality and amount of items increasing like this, people are going to be incentivized to come back every week to play, especially considering we don't know how long this is going to last for. I can't really knock Valve for doing this. Having people come back to your game each week is kind of the point, but it's just something that I noticed as far as what direction this game is going in, particularly since these aren't even the only skins we're getting in this update. Because on top of these 3 new collections, Valve has also given us a Train collection, an honestly kind of forgettable new limited edition XM skin, and a brand new case with 24 new knife finishes. Some of these new knives, which are seemingly dropping at suspiciously high rates, look absolutely gross, but eyes are also on the brand new Print Stream. That's right, they have finally given the op the print stream treatment. Though I will say, as a proud owner of a few print streams myself, they still don't hit the same as they did in CSGO. For some reason, that pearlescent holographic effect just isn't the same anymore. Still, it's pretty sick, and overall, a ton of new fucking skins, and if that's what Valve meant by a little something for everyone, then fair enough, I guess. But if you were looking for anything else, you're shit out of luck. Outside of the new cosmetic goodies, all that we really got were some slight changes to Inferno and Train. Banana is slightly wider now to better reflect how it was in CSGO, which is cool, and some of the clutter on the maps were simplified to improve visibility. Now, one other thing of note is that they did adjust the nade collisions on these 2 maps that apparently have made lineups a bit more beginner friendly. I've not been able to test them out myself, but if true, this is pretty cool. Making util easier and more consistent to use is always a good thing in my books, but that's pretty much all we really got in this update. Is that a bad thing? It depends on who you ask. When it comes to this community, it's hard to gauge exactly what's going to make everyone happy. Some fans are content with map pool rotations and skins. Others want actual content like new maps and modes. Some want better anti-cheat, a working server browser, 128-tick servers, and most want all of it. But for those who do want and expect all of it, what becomes the priority for us, and how does it compare to Valve's? What order should we be getting these things in? The point is, CS2 is far from being perfect, and it might take a few years before we get these things, if at all. There's a possibility that this is what CS2 updates look like going forward. 2 to 3 updates a year that simply refresh the pool, start a new season, or add to the armory. Judging by the replies to this update, some people seem perfectly fine with that, and that's okay, but others aren't. A large portion of this community believe that what Valve is providing isn't enough for the long run, that they're just focusing on skins because it's easy money. This game is hitting peaks of 1.8 million players in its current state, so what's the rush in adding adding or fixing anything if it doesn't instantly give them money. And I get that frustration. I've talked about it a lot. Personally, I'm okay with less content so long as CS2 as a product becomes the best, most polished version of itself. And I think a lot of people would agree with me, but the issue is that we aren't there yet. And until we are, I don't know if these skin updates are going to keep people satisfied with this game in the long run. Normally, you'd think that like the early years of a game's life, they're going to be pumping it full of content, getting as many people in it as possible. Here's new game modes, here's new maps, here's new community server things that you can do, all this attention on the esport and all that. And then later, it's just like, okay, now we're just doing skins, some map rotations, blah, blah, blah. Like that's all we're really getting now. The cope is that they're doing it in reverse, I guess. Is that, okay, now it's just going to be skin stuff to keep giving us money, but then eventually we're going to be dropping all these things that you guys want, 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now to keep everyone coming back.